Hello everyone, I'm Troublesome Trucks, and today we're going to be continuing our reviews of the 2025 motorized engines. Previously we looked at Nia and Percy, who are in the background, and they had some highs and lows with each of them. But today we're going to be looking at Talking Classic Thomas. So this isn't really part of the same wave, but it's released around the same time, so yeah, we're going to be looking at this one today, and he features Annie and Clarabel, so that'll be good to see how they look in this new revamped style. But before, I got this at Walmart for around $20, I think. That's what the Talking engines usually go for from the previous few years with All Engines Go and stuff, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to look at Thomas, but yeah, we'll just do a quick look at the box. It's a little bit different from the other ones. So we got the Motorized logo and the CGI Thomas here. Quick look at the front here. Looks like he does have a headlight and pretty much the same face as he does in his 3-pack and 2-pack styles. We got full steam ahead here, so it does talk. There's a button up top that will listen to him in a little bit as try me, and you can press the button through the box as a speaker on the back. But we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves. But the name down here have Annie and Clarabel. The engines recognize each other, so they can talk to each other. Look at Clarabel, and on the back we have Talking Thomas with the All Engines Go Talking James. So it looks like they can communicate with the past ones, which is pretty good. I think they can maybe even communicate with like the 2021 engines, but maybe I'll do another video testing that out too. So Thomas says hello friend, and James says hiya Thomas. So much to do and say. And yeah, there's not much on the bottom or anything, so that is pretty much it for the box. So I think we should jump in and actually unbox it and get a closer look at this. So let's see what the best way to unbox this thing. There's some tape here, maybe here, that we should try and cut off, and maybe that will give us better access. So, and trying to rip Thomas apart, and he's already talking. And I think we also need to cut the tape back here, and I guess it's not even where I thought it was. So alright, let's see. Come on Thomas. I think I got Annie out, Clarabel, sorry guys, and Thomas. So a little bit of a messy unboxing, but we did get them out in the end. So put the box to the side, and we'll look at each of them separately. And just notice something about Annie and Clarabel. We'll have to look at them. So Thomas has this thing on him that's supposed to, so his wheels don't spin in the box or whatever. So take out this rubber band. And so he does come with batteries already fitted. I don't even know how many batteries he has. I think 2 or 3, but maybe I'll look at that after. So no for sure. But here is Thomas. So as I said, he pretty much has the same style face as his other releases in this range. He is kind of looking up to his left. Fortunately, he doesn't have painted buffers or a running board like some of the other releases, and this is a 3-pack, so like most of the other 3-packs have engines with painted running boards except Nia, but she doesn't have one in CGI, so it's kind of interesting they skipped out on this one. This is like a exclusive, or like like an exclusive version. You think they would go the extra mile for that. But anyways, it does have a light here, so we'll see that working in a little bit. So front, a little bit lacking detail. We'll see how the rest of him fares. So has number 1 rivets all around, and feels like he has more rivets here or something. It looks a little bit different, I feel, than the other one, but I haven't looked at the other Thomas from this range in a little bit, so maybe I'm just misremembering. But he does have like the implied definition between his splasher and side tank, so that's nice to see again. Again, the handrails has lining around his windows, kind of a little hard to see, but then we also got his bunker detailing and lining here. He does have a step ladder, but it's just red. Again, the same type of side rods and all that. Then on the back we have the speaker and his coupling, and again the buffers aren't painted, so yeah, a little bit unfortunate for that. And again, basically the same details on this side. So then we'll look at the top, his water filler caps, a dome, short stumpy funnel of course, and his windows and whistle are a sticker. And then there's the button on top and his coal load. So yeah, his cab is quite a bit higher than the regular releases, so they can fit the button to make him talk and stuff. So it makes him a little bit tall, a little not too bad since they have increased the size of this everything else. So it isn't as jarring as some of the other talking engines from Trackmaster and Motorized, but it is still a little noticeable. So yeah, it's pretty basic Thomas. There's no any extra details like paint splatters or dirt or anything. So it's just the talking classic Thomas, so I guess that makes sense. So just wish they would have added some black to his buffers and stuff just to tie it all together. But yeah, there is Thomas. That's pretty much it. I guess underneath those are also kind of play a part in the talking feature, and that looks like where you take the screw to undo the batteries. Maybe even this one too, I'm not quite sure, because some of the all engines go you need to take out 2 screws, so I'll have to check that and report back. Now let's move on to his faithful coaches, Annie and Clarabel. So here is Annie. Basically doesn't have a shock face anymore, but like the Trackmaster 2 style, she has basically the same face as the 2020 Motorized releases. And on her side it reads Annie. The All Engines Go ones didn't have that, so brought that back. Again, the extra detail with the wheel sides, and almost feel like I don't know, the wheels almost look like a dark blue, but like a very dark blue, but I think it's just the lighting or something, and doesn't actually look too bad. So then we got the back, nothing much there. Then on the side it's the same, and windows and all that. And you can actually see all the way through, and it looks like there's seats in there, but I just didn't even know this when I got this, but there's underneath. But I just saw when I was opening it up, oh, I thought the whole side flipped over, but it's just the roof. So I guess actually that's even better than opening the sides, because some of them, some rolling stock I've had that, and it's looked a little bit weird, but just opening the roof, so, and you can see in there, and there's a bunch of seats. They're not really painted or anything, but the detail is there, which is quite nice. They have some gaps in the corners here. I'm not quite sure what the reason is for that, but not on the other side, because like can't see anything that would make a difference there. But it is interesting, so glad to see they're doing that. So can, I guess, put people inside. I don't really know what kind of figures, but that is nice. Nothing seen like that before on Annie and Clarabel in the Motorized ranges. So yeah, it does kind of add a little bit of weird, since it's supposed to be orange right here from on down like this side, but I guess we can live with it because we can access the inside. So yeah, quite innovative. Haven't seen, oh, I guess, wait, was there an All Engines Go that had this, or was it, I guess there is Gordon's coach from the 2021 Motorized that had that. So yeah, hopefully I'm making sense here. But now we look at Clarabel. So that has the same face as Annie. Kind of wish they had different faces so they just don't look completely identical, but I guess that's just me. So does have the compartments for the guard or whatever, but they're not like, actually, are they? I was gonna say, should they be like the windows on the side where they're open, but I guess that would kind of look weird. But I don't know, I guess that's fine how they did it. And then at Clarabel on this side as well, all the windows and stuff, and the front, which is blank, and the side, which is basically the same, and then opens up inside, so you can see the seats basically the same as Annie, just kind of mirrored with the face and stuff, so, and different name on the side. So that is all for Clarabel, and that pretty much rounds out all of these guys in the pack. Whoops. So let's just do an overview. So there's what they look like all in a line. So the scale and the lengthwise, I think Annie and Clarabel are about the same length as Thomas, so they're not a little bit shorter, but it's not too bad. And I mean, Thomas's cab is taller on this one, so the height difference is a little bit weird, but with I guess measure it with, try Percy and see, yeah, Percy's a bit more in scale with the cab height, and just drop Clarabel. So maybe with the other Thomas, the scale-in would be a little bit better. So yeah, there is the train all together. We'll get a few shots of them running, but there they are for now. And quickly, we're just going to listen to what Thomas has to say. So let's hear what he has to say.
Sizzling fireboxes! Whoa! No time for delay! Phew! Phew! Full steam ahead! Hello, friend! Sizzling fireboxes! On my way! Well, bust my buffers! Sizzling fireboxes! Number 1 blue engine. No time for delay. Well, bust my buffers! Full steam ahead! Whoa!
Alright, I think we covered most of them. I'm not quite sure, but there is some of his phrases. He seems to laugh a lot. I think, is that the UK voice for Thomas? It sounds a little bit different than what I'm used to hearing, but I think that it is. But I heard someone say that, but I don't know if that was for US release too. So yeah, there it is all for Thomas. So yeah, I think I'm just going to quick set him up on the tracks, and then we'll give him a test run around the tracks. Alright, and quickly, here's what it looks like inside Thomas. So you do need to undo this back screw and this front screw right here. And then it pops off, and then the batteries, these batteries are included with, so you're all set to run this out of the box. But if you need to change the batteries at some point, then those are the screws, and then there's everything inside. So yeah, now let's get him on the tracks. Alright, I think Thomas is ready to go. They're all coupled up, so let's see how he can go around the tracks. We got the same as the other videos, just a loop here, but should see if he can go up hills and stuff, so see his speed and all that. So 3, 2, 1, start your engines and go. Maybe we'll get a few new phrases that we didn't hear before. And he's doing a wheelie up the top, and he's derailed, so I don't know, maybe Annie and Clarabel are heavier than the other rolling stock, so maybe that's going to cause problems. We'll see. Maybe I'll just break in after a bit and won't do that, but maybe it probably is heavier at the back because the electronics, but is having a few problems to start with. made it that time. Alright, and that will do it for our test run of the Talking Classic Thomas. So, did have the most issues out of all the engines I've reviewed so far. I did derail almost every time except once going up the hill and a few times around the corners, but that might have just been me not quite putting him on the tracks right or something. So, but it does seem to struggle on the hills, so he does a front wheelie and then derails on his landing. So I guess maybe you can try it let's try it without Annie and Clarabel. I assume he should be able to make it. Yeah, it makes it fine. So maybe it just
Number 1 blue engine, right on time.
So maybe just the increased weight of Annie and Clarabel, since they are bigger coaches. Like usually Percy has like a big mail car, but then he has a small brake van. So maybe that weight, but also the more electronics and stuff back here, and then the front doesn't have as much weight on it. So a little bit of problem with that, but it's not too bad, I guess. You're not always going to be running him on hills, but it's something to note if you want to do that. So overall, he's not too bad. Wish the buffers and stuff were painted just to add a little bit something here and all that, but otherwise the detail's pretty similar to the regular Thomas's, and maybe it could have added some detail, but I guess like some extra thing, but I guess maybe they can do that in other releases if they want to. So Annie and Clarabel, good to see them finally in the range. Thought they'd be included pretty early on, so now we finally got them. So I do like that they can open the roofs and you can look inside or put people of some kind. So yeah, that will be pretty much it. So $20, not too bad for Thomas, and besides the a little bit of extra detailing and a few problems up hills, he's a pretty fine engine, pretty good performer. So yeah, let me know what you think of this Thomas in the comments down below, and yeah, until next time, this is Troublesome Truck signing out. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.